Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We are starting our question answer session. As we have heard, Dr. Israr Ahmed has covered a vast area bearing both on ontological position of man and epistemological questions. It's a vast area. He has very briefly touched everything, and now it's your time to question him. I hope you will not needle him, because he is not a philosopher. He is a medical practitioner, switched over to spiritual healing, as I say generally. But of course, he is a scholar of Quran. He has studied Quran very intensively, very closely. This is a gathering of multi-religious people, community from different faiths have come here, and we should meet in an ecumenical spirit and try to understand each other's point of view.
Let me start by saying what a delight your presentation was, and how clear it was, and how much I appreciated it. And there are so many questions I would like to ask, but I'm very aware that there are others who want to ask questions too, so let me just pick one. And that was, I was interested in the way in which you reconciled the story of natural selection and Darwinian evolution, appropriately modified, with the Quranic insights about human anthropology. And what surprised me a little bit is that my impression is the vast majority of Islamic thinkers are very suspicious of the sort of ideological baggage that Darwinian evolution has in the West, and view it therefore with a lot of suspicion, and are often very, very critical of it. But you seem to be quite happy to talk about the fact that certainly the animal, human, did evolve from, animals, and it was in some point in that process we were given a spirit. And how do you find that do you find you have a lot of sympathy in the Islamic world for these positions, or do you find that you are often criticized for them?
Thank you very much. Firstly, please note that I do believe in evolution, but not in Darwinian evolution. Evolution is something else, and the mode through which it has taken place is something else. The struggle for existence and the survival of the fittest and natural selection, and that automatically changes one species to another, this is wrong. At every change of species, we need another kun from God. And this, the mechanism of Darwinian evolution has not been proved, and not very much liked in the biological areas, in the academia. So every time we have to have a kun, and that change becomes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now actually the damage that Darwinian evolution has done to humanity is because of the focus on the animal being only. Man is not an animal being only. He is a spiritual being also. And that is out from the discussions or studies or quest of the scholars. This spiritual existence has not come through evolution. It is direct from Allah, direct from God. So because I said it is the calamity and the tragedy of modern mind, that we have just shut our eyes from that side. And now, if we are only animals, now we can follow animals. Animals don't discriminate between wife and mother and daughter. Why should we? They don't take the trouble of dressing. Why should we? This civilization has gone down to the animal level, because the other aspects are absolutely out of sight. The whole sociology, whole thought is focused on the animal being. That's all. So that is the reason why Muslims don't agree with it. But if we have this idea, then these two things are separate. This animal being has come through evolution, but for every change in the species was due to another new fresh command from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Kun. And so it has happened.
Your interpretation of the origin and the birth and the development of the universe, it was very interesting. And I think very beautifully and logically you weave the creationism with evolution. I have a couple of questions. One is that you talked about three forms of creation: man, jinnis, and angels. What
Three
is
forms of self-conscious
self-conscious
creation. Yes.
Okay. What is the qualitative difference between these three different forms of creations? And in your view, what different roles have been assigned to them, or what different capacities they have to perform these roles?
The angels were created out of light, and they are, so to say, the civil service, we call it. They are implementing divine commands. They have no animal existence at all, no lusts, no desires, no id, no libido. But then human beings, they have been blessed with spirits. But jinns don't have spirits. They are alive. They don't have spirits. Therefore, no revelation could come to them. Revelation only could come to the human beings because they have that apparatus, that ruh, that spirit within them which receives it. The antenna is there, they don't have it. So vicegerent on earth is man. And he is the only creation of God in which both the worlds, the world of Amr and the world of Khalq, they have come together. Jinnis are only Khalq, not Amr. And the angels are Amr, no Khalq. And here, both have met together. The spirits belonging to the world of command and the animal being to the world of creation.
I'm trying to relate here in this very interesting and for me very instructive exposition that you have made today, that the thought about the body itself, you I think also in some ways refer to as kapra, quoting Upanishad, I suppose, in a way that it's a covering, which is I think in a way the Sikhism looks at it. The kapra is, body is quoted, is named kapra quite often in the Guru Granth Sahib. And kapra, or the human incarnation, so to say, is the result of your karmas. Karmi ave kapra, nadri mokh dwar. And it is through the grace, nadar, karam of God, that the moksha, the emancipation,
Salvation.
Yes, salvation. The door of salvation only opens up through the grace of God. But it is through your karma, through your doings, through your actions in your prior births, that you got this human body. And this human body is then considered as one of the greatest blessings which has been given to you, because it provides you the instrument, the sources of energy, as you said, the thinking, the intellect, the ability to reason, the ability to see, to comprehend, acquire knowledge, gyan, and then try and get closer to God. And the biggest suffering is, where we start or begin, is the suffering from being separated from God, the Atma, the spirit, being separated from God, the process of individuation. And in this process of individuation,